On the hot seat today, India's luxury fashion scene is getting a major boost. Culture Circle, a hype in luxury fashion app, has raised strategic funding from OYO's Ritesh Agarwal at a valuation of over 100 crore rupees. The platform is already seeing 4x growth and boasts over 1 million monthly users. From authenticated Jordans to Louis Vuitton, it's building a cultural movement for Gen Z. And this funding is aimed at scaling the AI engine SourceX and taking Indian streetwear global. Let's find out what's driving this momentum. Joining me now to discuss this further is Devansh Jain Naval, the co-founder and CEO of Culture Circle. Devansh, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. You know, for those who are new to Culture Circle, what sets you apart in India's luxury and hype fashion space? And how did the idea behind the platform come to life? Take us through what's on offer.
Sure. So firstly, thank you so much for having me. For those who are unaware, Culture Circle is India's #1 marketplace for all things hype and luxury. What I mean by that is everything from limited edition sneakers to handbags to perfumes to apparel, t-shirts, hoodies that you cannot get access to anywhere else in India. We make them accessible. So earlier, what you'd have to do is wait for potentially a trip to, say, Europe, or wait for your friend to come from Europe, and you'd get that stuff maybe once in 6 months. We have made that accessible to everyone, to the top 1%. To the cultured is how we like to call ourselves. What makes us really separate is in terms of the number of products we have, right? Typically, traditional sort of marketplace dealing in limited edition products would have, say, 1,000 different products. What we boast to have is the world's largest collection of authenticated limited edition products on one app. And what we also allow you to do is we guarantee you the lowest prices on the entire planet. How do we do that? We allow you to compare prices between all globally verified sellers right on one app. So that's why we make hype and luxury accessible, trustable, as well as at the guaranteed best prices.
So making high-end fashion and luxury items available to more people. But, you know, Ritesh Agarwal has backed the company, and this backing comes sort of after your Shark Tank appearance, and you sort of turned down an 8 crore rupee offer, right? So what convinced you that this was the right strategic move? How will Ritesh's involvement sort of shape Culture Circle's next phase of growth?
Sure. So, I mean, what OYO really stands for and what Ritesh himself has built is really built a two-sided marketplace. And that's how we also operate. We have a global network of different sellers who we source these limited edition products from that we can't get anywhere else. And we deliver it to customers. What OYO has done is a very similar business strategy in terms of being able to aggregate and organize all of these different sort of guest houses and PGs that used to exist and get them onto one platform. And the way we do that on our seller side is we have built a lot of AI technology in terms of our supply chain platform, which is called SourceX. And that has enabled us to deliver on our promise, again, of collection, prices, and guaranteed authenticity. So that's why Ritesh's involvement comes in, because he's really done this in a different industry before. And now we're doing it for potentially even a much larger industry globally.
Culture Circle is already valued at over 400 crore rupees, right? And you're sort of seeing 4x business growth. Can you sort of break down the key revenue and user metrics driving the surge, and where do you hope to close this year? What are you already clocking?
Sure. So as of right now, we're already clocking, our sales are over 100 crores annualized. And this is for a company that's only 15 to 18 months old. We launched in Jan 2024. So that growth has been remarkable. And the only thing that has told us is that there's genuine product demand in the customers. What we're doing for India, for example, is now we're launching more and more categories, as well as more and more retail stores. So we already have a few retail locations across Delhi and Hyderabad, Bombay, Gurgaon, etc., coming up in the next 3 months. So we'll have 6 more retail locations. Apart from that, we're launching a bunch of new categories. So everything you can think of, from super luxury handbags to watches, to collectibles, accessories. So everything that you'd want to really, cherish yourself with or gift yourself is what we're really focusing on. Apart from that, very interestingly, I'm sitting in Berlin right now because we're also planning a very aggressive EU expansion as well as an expansion across Asia, because we've done a successful pilot in Singapore and UAE and Australia, and the initial results have been remarkable. And we've already had sort of copycat apps trying to replicate what we're doing prop up in EU, in America, and in all of these territories. So now it only makes strategic sense for us to go and launch in all of these territories. So that's where the next phase of growth is also coming from.
So, you preempted my next question. You're looking at global expansion, but you're also expanding within India itself, right? From Delhi and Hyderabad to Mumbai, Gurugram, and 2 other cities. How do you sort of see physical retail complementing the app experience?
Right. So for us, I mean, we keep it super simple. The physical retail is actually the first touch point and the trust point for the customer. Because when a customer is coming in on our app, they're typically spending, say, 20,000 to 50,000 to even a lakh per transaction, right? Because that's the kind of products that we're selling. And sometimes to build that trust, the person needs to really have a touch and feel of the brand, experience the brand. So we really look at our retail stores as experience centers and as trust building centers where people can come in, experience what Culture Circle is all about, what is the culture that we're trying to build in India and across the world. And that sort of plays into the larger global online strategy as well.
All right, Devansh, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. And we wish you all the best on this journey going forward.
Thank you so much for having me again. It means a lot.
On that note, it is time for us to head into a short break. But coming up next, EV energy tech company Kazam has raised $6.2 million in a Series B